Fank. Immediate burn. Oh boy, this one's been a long time coming. Love it or hate it, it's here. This is Resident Evil 6. Don't go away. So, whether you find what I'm about to say weird or not, well, I'll say it anyways. On my road to play through all Resident Evils onto 8, the most anticipated for me was Resident Evil 6. Back in the day, me and a friend played it on release week, and it was a hell of a time. It was so fun, honestly. We played through Leon and Helena. We beat it in about a day and a half. We just chilled out in the room. We had a giant bowl of Cheeto Puffs, and we just played through Resident Evil 6 like it was no other. And then a good number of years later, me and him played through it again, and we didn't really enjoy it that much. In fact, we didn't even finish playing all through the campaigns. So what was my opinion gonna be coming into a modern, present point of view? Well, that's, I guess, why we're here to find out. First off, I have to say, I'm reviewing this game as someone who played it through co-op. I'm sure if I played it through single player only, I would have a different opinion. Same thing I said about Resident Evil 5, I played through that game co-op exclusively. Same with this, I play this exclusive co-op. I'm sure it makes a huge difference. First up, there's a lot of content. You'll be lying to yourself and to everybody you know if you said that if this game was released modern time, that it would come with everything. You're lying. Because this came with 4 campaigns and mercenaries. If this released today, it would have 3, maybe 2 campaigns, and they would be like Jake and Sherry DLC, Ada DLC. Now, I'm not even going to begin to try and describe the story to you because it's 4 campaigns of intertwining and twisting story. In short, you have Leon and Helena's campaign, a more grounded, horror-based story. Kristen Pierce, which is a much more action-based tank military shooter.
There's no one in that vehicle, bro! Who dropped the grenade?! I don't see anybody in the fucking vehicle.
Actually, there's no one there. Imagine if there's a BS emblem on this area.
Oh, definitely it is.
What the fuck?! Wait, was that me? You're still shooting. You were still shooting. Did you see that? And then you have Jake and Sherry, which is a mix of those 2. You also have Ada, which is a mix of those 3, I guess you could say. But I won't talk about Ada as much because hers is more of a bonus campaign. I don't really consider it part of the main game. I just sort of consider it like separate ways was to Resident Evil 4.
If Ada Wong's story doesn't have us going through the fucking trap, setting up fucking Leon and Chris, I'm gonna say this is fucking fake ass Ada. I'm not asking.
Whether you love this game or you hate it for it, the combat is where this game lives and dies. Call of Duty was big in 2012. Trust me, I was there. And Resident Evil 6 took some notes. Sure, gun combat is fun in this game. Yes, it's true. But melee combat is really where it's at.
It's my bad.
Holy...
Yo. I don't fucking care. Holy fuck. Yo.
Everybody in the game has their own moveset, and there's not just like 1 or 2 animations like there was in Revelations 2. You have different stun attacks from the front, the back, whether they have a weapon or not, quick attack stuns. A quick shot followed up by a melee attack is different. For the first time since introducing physical attacks in Resident Evil 4 followed by 5, you don't need a prerequisite of stunning an enemy to a certain animation to physically attack them. That's right. No more waiting around shooting a guy's arm or shooting a guy's leg to though follow up with a physical attack. You can just run and punch. Now, honestly, whether that is good or bad, I have no idea. I've always went back and forth. When I play Resident Evil 6, I love the melee system. It's fluid, it's free, you get to do it whenever you want. Then I play Resident Evil 5 and I'm like, this is so much better. Sure, it's not as fluid or free, but it's more grounded. It feels more realistic. It feels better. But then I play Resident Evil 6 and I just swap opinions again. So really, I've settled on both. Both are good.
Could prepare a glorious feast for you tonight. Which would you prefer? Both?
Both is good.
As fluid as the combat is, the movement is just as good. Now, sure, the camera is not perfect. You can dodge left and right, jump back, jump forward, go prone, roll on the ground, stuff that I've never seen before. Like, I think of this movement system being in Resident Evil 4 or 5, and it just seems would be way out of place, but in Resident Evil 6, it's hilariously fun to work around with.
Fatty damage. Because roll out of here. Roll out, squad. Yeah, top fucking members.
Now, outside of the game, you have upgrade points, more actually known as skill points. Now, it's okay. It's okay. I think it's okay. I've grown to like it. I've grown to almost love it. Skill points are, you get some interchangeable things. I wish you could equip more than 3. I hate that restriction. In fact, there's skill point upgrades in the Mercenaries mode exclusive to Mercenaries that should have been in the main campaign, honestly. But sure, if you tell me that if you came out with a completely different and cool Merchant RE4 style upgrade system that I would have liked it more, in lame English terms, yes. Very yes. Now, for presentation, I really can't honestly walk out onto the stage and say, this is amazing. But what I can say is that the game does a lot of small things right. Small touches like the HUD is different in each campaign is noticeable. The soundtracks are pretty great, especially the main themes, which the main theme for each campaign is slightly changed. The sound effects are Resident Evil-esque. Enemy design, from all the transformations of the Jiwavo, which there are a huge amount, all the way to the rock looking guy, which now that I think about it, kind of looks like Graveler from Pokemon but with longer legs. All the way to that weird gas guy who walked out of the basement of the church. Resident Evil 6, and honestly is the main point, is if you take this game seriously, you will end up hella disappointed. But if you look at it as a sort of parody in Resident Evil, or just a fun, you know, screw around game with your friend late on a Saturday night, then you're gonna have a hell of a time with this game.
Shoot the baby while he's down. Oh, we got missiles. Holy fuck! You should be fucking dead! That's the end!
I get more missiles back, right?
Something that I did laugh about though when my friend mentioned it is that doesn't this game look worse than Resident Evil 5? This was released 2012, a year before The Last of Us and BioShock Infinite. Resident Evil 5 was released 3 years previously in 2009, but looks better than this. So, yeah. So for overall impact, I'm not going to beat around the bush and say that Resident Evil 6 is the greatest Resident Evil of all time. And I'm not even going to say that it's the worst, because it isn't. I'm going to say that Resident Evil 6, at least for me, on overall impact, has some sort of weird charm about it that I just can't get away from this game. Whether it's my past experiences from being younger has glued me to the fact that this game is good and I'm just, you know, arguing against myself, or the fact that I honestly really enjoyed my playthrough of this game in 2022. It's one of those games where you first start it and I really was like, okay, this is kind of jank, this is how I remember it. But once I beat that campaign, I moved on to the next. I just wanted to play more. And I wanted to play more, and I fell in love with the combat, and it's just addicting. The game brings in 3 brand new characters that are great, and Okay, maybe 2. It brings back Leon, and Chris comes back for back-to-back games. Sherry comes back, which, by the way, huge shout out. Sherry in Resident Evil 6 is a great addition. This game has some great, memorable, adrenaline-filled cutscene moments, most notably, to me at least, the ending to Kristen Pierce is amazing. The missile strike in China is great.
What is that?
Okay, I've got a Chris Redfield on the line, patching you through to his aircraft.
Chris Redfield.
Leon! Leon, where are you?
Chris, we're just outside of Tachi. Why?
Get the hell out of there!
And of course, another huge complaint of this game is that Simmons as the main villain sucks. Yeah, you got me there. Simmons sucks. And but like I said, if you take this game seriously, you're gonna hate it. If you pick this game up for the first time, you're like, damn, I just played Resident Evil 2 and 4. They're great. I'm gonna go play solo on Resident Evil 6 and I'm gonna love it. You're gonna hate it because at one point Simmons is just some normal white guy villain who wants to rule the world who turns into a T-Rex. But overall, for the good and the bad, I feel like I've balanced it out and I've given this game a solid 8.0 out of 10. So that's it. Resident Evil 6 down, 1 game left. Resident Evil 3 Remake, and then it's Village. Which, by the way, they have, at this point, announced Resident Evil 8 Gold Edition, which features third-person mode. So I'm just going to wait for that. I think it's an October release date, so I would rather play through with a third person than a first person, in my opinion. So I'm going to wait for that. And that'll be it. But for now, I'm your host, Saber Planet Entertainment, and Obvious Review. Peace out.
Oh.
Oops. I didn't mean to click that.
Just right out loud. It sounded like it was fucking totally meant to happen.
Oops. No, because what happened is I put the first aid spray out.
Sure.
No, I put the first aid spray out. And then I
you
went
like,
to do an emote. So an emote. And it's a hold O.
Thanks.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Oops.
Eliminate all traces of the theft of my identity.
What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.